G'day everyone, DJ GOKKUN here for another episode of Weekly INFINITAS releases. So once again I'm joined here by DJ GOKKUN. Say hi GOKKUN.
Hi GOKKUN.
As per usual, smart me commentary. So yeah, we've got three what I think are quite good songs for the releases, and I was pretty excited to do this week's episode. What are your thoughts on the first impressions of the three songs I've told you about?
It's a step up. I'm biased, I like them, so naturally I'm going to say, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm honestly a fan of these compared to the three songs they gave us last week. But enough dilly-dallying about it, I suppose we should get to it.
Yeah, let's go.
So the first song that we have for this week is Harmony and Lovely by Ryustar, which came out in 2DX Distorted. Now, I was a huge fan of this song when it first came out, and it was pretty iconic because I just finished school, and our arcade got Distorted, CS, and AC at the same time. Sorry, our arcade got AC, and we got CS at the same time. So there was a lot of overlap for me with the arcades. Now, what are your thoughts on the song initially? Were you playing at this time when we had AC?
Well, I didn't start till late 08.
Yeah.
But the arcade was running Distorted at the time. But no, I mean, Distorted CS was the first, my first actual proper exposure to 2DX, so naturally I played Harmony and Lovely quite a bit. I liked it, it was good. It's one of my first 11s.
Yeah, it's a fantastic song, and I really think it's a great song for breaking into the 11s for people. The chart is very straightforward. I mean, it's got a tricky middle, but so long as you can handle that density towards the end, I don't think it's too bad. There's
these two little walls in it, which I think are a sort of great way to introduce players who are breaking into that sort of level of play. On just how dense things can get. That's one of the reasons why I played it so much.
Yeah, and I think it is a great song to practice if you're trying to work on your density, because it's slow enough where you can actually hit it quite accurately if you really tap it out. Something else I wanted to point out, which someone brought up earlier on my Ask FM, was that Harmony and Lovely is one of those older styles Ryu songs which was really good, which has been compared to Line for Ruin, which are released in Pendrell. And people have stated, you know, people overhype Line for Ruin, because if you look back at his old stuff like this, he's actually made some pretty good music in the past. What are your thoughts on this?
I reckon whenever Ryu tends to branch out of his happy hardcore roots, he tends to produce, you know, universally accepted music.
Yeah.
What was it that he did in Empress?
Mind mapping.
Yeah. Stuff like that. When he goes for the more housey, electro sort of sound, I reckon Ryu's actually got quite a good grasp of how to make a good track. As far as happy hardcore goes, I don't know. I've always been more a fan of the UK sound, so I've never been too big on that sort of J-core-ish sound. Even though I was really into it at one point, I still, I don't know. I've never really felt it. I felt he's better off doing the style of music.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, without further ado, we'll get into a play video. This is DJ GOKKUN playing Harmony and... This is DJ GOKKUN playing Harmony and Lovely Another.
GOKKUN.
Alright, so the second song for this week is Laser Cruster by LED, which was released in 2DX Gold. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Laser Cruster. I mean, it's not a bad song, but at the same time, it's not something that sticks out to me that I think, I've got to play every session. What are your thoughts on this, Gokkun?
Some LED tracks tend to drone on a bit to me. I prefer that earlier, like, goer sound he sort of had going on.
Yeah, me too. And honestly, this is a very forgettable song if you compare it to some of his more memorable tracks from earlier styles. Now, as for the chart itself, I do think that it's pretty good because I mean, it is a mid-level 12 over moderate density. And I feel like it does throw in some sneaky things like those 24ths in there.
I should also reiterate, by go, I actually meant to say hardcore, sorry. I prefer his hardcore output.
That's alright, that's alright. So yeah, I mean, when you look at this style as a whole and what sort of 12s it offered, I found that it really sort of gave stepping stones for people to get to those harder songs, sort of like Double A and Scorpion Fire and those sorts of songs which were out in the styles beforehand.
It had an interesting mixture. I mean, you had two fairly dense songs, which was Laser Cruster and Candy Galley.
Yeah.
You had the more strange sort of, somewhere between focused heavily on technique and how well you can handle density, which was Fire Fire and
Sense.
Yeah, Sense, you could say that.
Then you had stupid stuff like Fax at the same time.
Fax was just a token gimmicky song,
Yeah.
I guess. Candy Galley was... you mentioned Candy Galley, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I quite liked Candy Galley and Laser Cruster, but I found overall Gold wasn't a very challenging style. I feel like they just used it to sort of fill some gaps.
I don't know if that was their intention. I think it was that point where the music started to change quite a bit. If you look at the earlier styles, right, there was a lot more of the... it was less electro and all that. Whereas in Gold, you started to see more of that sort of sound. If you look at, say... God, I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going in this, but I just kind of wish we saw more stuff like Metallic Mind.
Absolutely. Anyway, without further ado, we'll get on to the play video. This is DJ DARQs playing Laser Cruster Another. Alright, so the final song for this week is Colors Radio Edit by DJ Taka, which was released in 6 style. I almost said DJ. The song itself is pretty iconic in music games in general, and is a real traditional old school track, which I've got some fond memories of. Gokkun, what are your thoughts on this song, being a player who came in sort of in the older generations?
It was my first 2DX song without me realizing it was actually from 2DX.
Really? Elaborate on that.
Well, there's a guy called Lollyripe who made a bunch of music. You know, let that be what it is. And there's a guy who collaborated with him at one point called DJ GOKKUN, but he made, I guess, what you could call as a remix of Colors, which wasn't really a remix. He kind of just changed the BPM and added a gabba kick, which is good enough. You know, like proper gabba kick, mind you. The kind of, you know, anyway, I'm ranting there, but point being is that I didn't realize. I saw a video once and I was like, oh, no, I like Colors. It's a good song. The chart's real fun. Like, even if you're just breaking into 12s, you could just play it again and again, and you won't really get tired.
Look, the thing about Colors that I thought is, it's really, really easy to clear. Scoring, however, I find it's very tricky.
Yeah, it's always been a bit of a bitch to score on.
Yeah, and I feel like you really need to fish for a good random in order to get a good score on it. As you'll probably see in the play video we're putting up, I had to fish for a good random to actually do quite well on it.
I actually enjoy the fact that most of the time the randoms you're going to get are going to be very difficult.
Yeah, no, it's good for practicing complex patterns.
I genuinely prefer it that way.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. Speaking of the patterns in the song, there was the one pattern in sort of the 60% mark of it, where you've got the triplets, and then you've got the sort of like off bass kick. And I remember that used to always get me when I was first starting out, because I mean I played Colors Hyper when I was learning to play, and I was just like, I don't understand that section at all. And I remember actually seeing a Tatsugen of someone playing it. I think it was PXY, and you could hear the taps really cleanly on how to hit that section. And I remember thinking, oh, so there's a break in there. And after practicing that, I got my first clear on it.
Yeah, for me it was watching your video.
So,
pretty sure you had a Colors video at one point. I saw the middle and I was like, that's how it's done.
Yeah, so all of you people who are breaking into like the 10s or maybe even the 12s and haven't noticed how the rhythm goes, listen to the taps in the video, because I reckon that'll really help you out in the future, like dealing with that section, especially if you've got it on random.
Yeah, sometimes it actually pays to watch other people play like high-level players play certain songs. There's certain rhythms that even at the level I'm at, even the level we're at, I should say, there's certain parts of songs that we hear much better players than us do. And it's just like, oh, okay.
That makes sense,
there was a one section of Watch Out Part 2, wasn't there?
Yeah, which I saw Toshia do.
Yeah, I was like, that's very good, yeah.
So anyways, without further ado, we'll jump to the play video. Here is DJ DARQs playing Colors, Radio Edit, Another. We'll probably just wrap it up as is, because I mean...
Oh, I got work.
Sorry. Yeah, you got work. It's got a bit slow.
I was gonna say, where you gonna...
Alright, so that wraps up this week's episode of INFINITAS Weekly Releases. Once again, I'm quite a fan of the songs that they've released in this 3-song pack. What are your thoughts on it, GOKKUN, overall?
They were fun, safe picks.
Yeah?
They were all safe.
All safe.
Okay. When it comes to songs like Harmony and Lovely and all that, people like them. People like Colors. Laser Cruster, maybe people are on the fence. I'm not sure what the consensus is, but they're not songs that people tend to veer one way or the other on, you know?
Yeah, I agree. They're quite safe songs, but I think, honestly, INFINITAS needs more songs like this.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, given what there is to choose from in its current form.
Yeah.
No, I think it was a good 3 songs. They're all fun charts to play as well. Even, I mean, I'm not just considering the others when I say this as well. I'm trying to think back to what I remember of the hypers too, and
yeah,
even then they're all quite fun, quite good.
Yeah, and as you were saying with the difficulties, I mean, I think it adds that flavour and variety to the high level difficulty that people have been seeking.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, when it comes to 2DX and difficulty, at least these days, these aren't very hard 12s, you know?
No, absolutely not.
The hardest was Laser Cruster, and even that passes off as a mid to low AA, I reckon.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, so what are your thoughts on the timing now that you've tried some level 12 songs on INFINITAS?
Game feels like it's... the best way I can put it, I'm not sure if people really get me or not, but... it's like if you play a first-person shooter and you put VSync on, and you notice this teensy slight odd delay to every little thing you do. The problem is that it feels exemplified as when I'm playing 12s. Usually I can overlook it. Sorry. In this case, it just seems to be rather jarring. Not to the point where it stops me from playing or enjoying it. I just notice it, you know.
Yeah, and I think.
I could just be too used to playing like LR2 and other methods of playing 2DX.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially given that I used to play predominantly on a CRT at a very high refresh rate, and now an LCD at a very high refresh rate. So I could just be picky and not used to this.
It's true, but I mean, honestly, I feel like they need to accommodate for those changes, and they really do need those graphics options that sort of let you run the game smoothly and not have those kinks.
Yeah, some form of settings would be nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so the next week's songs are going to be Love Me Do, Tripping Contact, and D. What are your thoughts on that? Interesting set, I think.
It's Love Me Do, really. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like the song chart, but
yeah,
that's a pretty random pick.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, either way,
I'm not complaining. I mean, I especially like the fact that they put in D. I like D. D's good. D's a good chart. I like the D.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we'll wrap up this episode. Once again, thank you very much for watching, guys, and carry us out, GOKKUN.
No, I'm tired and I want to go home. I got work tomorrow.